Welcome on this glorious and amazing day, and thanks for joining. We're going to get back to the second question of why does a minority of abused individuals make a choice to turn their lives around and be the kind, gentle, and sensitive people and do the contrary that was done to them, and yet sadly the vast majority of humans will not only abuse others, but deeply abuse themselves and be victims? This answer would take me 10 hours. I'll try to squeeze it into 5 minutes or less. The answer is as this is the experience that I've had talking to people, hundreds of people in the last 20 years. How much people want to change and want to be kind to themselves and be kind to the world. There's a certain comfort zone in being a victim. Most of these people that were abused, they had one common thing, that they were never good enough. They were never good enough. Even if they did something, I feel like crying. I'm like, have 20, 30 stories just coming into my mind from people that talk to me. They're never good enough. So even if they mastered something and they got it actually not 99, 100%, the painful and typical thing from deeply abusive parents will be the same answer. Very nice. You want me to be proud of you, right? Look at your messy bedroom. How do you expect me? How do you expect me to be proud of you? If you did so and so 100%, they don't say the 100% because they don't even look at it as 100%. And sadly, some of these adults have tried, if you believe it or not, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years, and they still don't get it. They don't get it that they'll never ever to be able to impress. It's just a very sick attitude of always to find a fault in a child, and how much they try to get their love from their parent because they might be 40 or 50 years old. But they gotta catch up. They're stuck. They're like 4 years old emotionally because they're still missing the validation of their parent and their love. For these type of adult children, they cannot, with their understanding, of course they could, with their understanding, they cannot get out of the victim mode. They can't perform. And the simple analogy I will share with you is, if I want to have a very good view of my surroundings, there's a ladder right next to me. And if I walk up a few steps, the higher I go up on the ladder, the better my view of life will be, the better my life will be. Everything is going to be good. Each and every step I walk up, life is just phenomenal and awesome. Yet most people will avoid it because every time as a child they walked up the ladder, they were thrown down. So if I'm thrown down from one step, that's a little bit pain. If I fall off the ladder from 3 steps, that's more pain. If I fall off from 5 or 6 steps, that could be actually like a fracture a bone. So they rather be dead emotionally. They rather stay on the ground and not get to see any of life or live any of life, or be able to be kind to themselves, and as a result cannot be truthfully kind to people around them, although they think they are, but they're not. They're extremely abusive without even noticing it, without even knowing it, without being aware from it. They are terrified to do something right because status quo of being on the ground, I can't fall further, I can't fall down because I'm on the ground already. And that's why most victims are terrified. So despite people tell them, hey, look what's going on to your life, you're ruining your life, look at your drinking habits, look at these addictions, look at your children already don't talk to you for 5 years, you know you gotta change. Maybe externally they understand it, but emotionally their subconscious mind will never ever allow them. So they need to be aware of this fear. And then what I help people is I actually deal with this real fear of being a victim, and slowly how they could choose to climb up the ladder, and all their fears about falling, which I told you will take you 10 hours, I'm not going to do it here, will dissolve and they won't have it. but it's a lot of work. So naturally you would go abuse people, but you do need to have lots of intervention, understanding, knowledge, NLP, therapy, to be able to work with the subconscious mind, that the subconscious mind will help you, that the subconscious mind will not intervene with you making the good choices within life. But let's reiterate what we said before. Any person that was abused, although right now their car is rolling backwards, which is scary because they're meant to drive up the mountain, it could be their parents put the gear on neutral, and it could be that's all they know. Go to someone, find out how to put the gear of your car on D, which stands for drive. Put your right leg on the gas and you could drive up that mountain. It boils down to one word: a choice. Do you need to have help how to make the choice? Maybe. But go find out how to do it. Every human being has the power, has their energy, and has the capability to turn their lives around. Sometimes you need to have an insight from someone else. You need a little bit of therapy. You could use a life coach, whoever you want your life coach to be, and turn your life around. So if there's no intervention, is there a good chance that you got abused, you'll abuse others? Yes. Does it need to be that way? Is that the rule? No. You have the choice to turn your life around. And that's precisely what Tony Robbins did. Tony Robbins knew he had a horrific life, yet he knew other people have a good life, and he made a choice to go seek out and to find out of how he can live a better life. Let me conclude next week with some practical tips. Thanks for listening. Have an awesome and delightful day.